Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grasshoppers. It is time to plot our daily training again. Happy birthday to Nemo. It is that time of year again. I absolutely love this volcano in the background. I actually posted some volcano track on my Instagram post. Couldn't help myself, since I found an appropriate one. There we go, we can see. Let's head over to our team, the Dojo Rapid and Classical for the weekend. We are going to have a very exciting time of it. Perhaps, just perhaps, we should post on our main track. Just because we can. And this way, everyone will have a chance. We'll post it in the main Master Chess Dojo. Forgive the team messages. I have 2 messages until January 8th at 0628. Uh-oh. Wait just a minute now. So that means that I only have 1 message left for Monday morning. Is that correct? Alright, we're gambling here just a little bit. We will post this up. Weekend diligent daily training. The weekend viewers 5+5 outwork everyone. Every single day. And we will space this out just a little bit. Why do I have this twice? I didn't even realize that I had it twice. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Let's not have it in here twice. Absolutely horrid. There we go. Whoops. Control Z. Z. Do we need Twitch TV? Yeah, we need a little bit of everything. Why not?
The warrior.
Good morning, warrior. How are
Hello.
you? Let's just get everybody going here. Keith Arkell is Monday. Are we back? Starting in 1 minute. Just over 2,000 members in the dojo. It'd be nice to have a master rating in the dojo. Weekend edition. 2,200 members. Maybe we need to do a simul. WGM AKANemsko will be at Blitz Society Bar in Paris tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Central European Time. She'll be at the Blitz Society bar playing all comers for her birthday.
The warrior
said, "Wow, 20235."
Yeah, for the weekend it's pretty good considering how late we started. So for example, the weekly original Master Chess Dojo has almost 5,000 members. Not that all of them show up, but I do believe we should get at least 0.1% of all of those warriors in action, honestly. Checking our stats. I did not look to see what we needed here. D4? E4? I think we need E4. Qiyu Chess Coach. Let's give Qiyu Chess Coach a quick shout out. He may be streaming, and he is. So how do we handle Mr. Qiyu Chess Coach? Let's play the King's Gambit. We're just going to try our best. This is not necessarily the most active response. I do have to watch out for stuff on the D4 square. So are we getting anything with F takes E5, or do we just take over on D4? Bishop takes C6, F takes E5, knight takes E5. Don't really want to give up the bishop pair, but I would like to just take over the center. Now let's just play it very calmly. Very, very calmly. We're not going to do anything too crazy. And now we have to take a free pawn. When offered a free pawn, we have to take the free pawn. If the opponent's not going to defend against our threats. Now we could lose in this position. We could lose control of our pieces here. He has bishop to c5 check. He's got a potential knight to g4 check. I'm not going to get too greedy here. So now he has bishop h2. We're just going to plot our way toward potential fork. So does this force him I think it does. And now he does have that square. Let's just step out of contention here. There is a dangerous discovered check of sorts. We are attempting to get a little bit of a fork going. Put some pressure on him. This doesn't quite work, folks. Does it? It was a good discovery, except for the fact that something's wrong with this picture. And now for something completely different. We definitely need to throw in bishop takes, queen to g5, queen to c5 check is off. We want to trade queens. We want to put pressure on f5. Interesting. Takes, 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 takes. I could get into a lot of trouble here. I am going to pretend like nothing is happening to us. We're up a pizza, so we're going to be converting our advantage in a different manner. Slowly but surely. Now, do I wish to allow anything here? No. Queen to e3. Queen takes e3, rook takes e3, f4 gets the piece back. I believe that is not really protected. We now have very dangerous threats. I'm so sorry, Qiyu. It appears as though we may be shish kebabbing our opponent in more ways than one. On regular bread, we don't have any hot dog buns. But we can't have hot dogs for breakfast. We should have something like toast. Alright, wait downstairs. I offered you toast to start off, just to get you to breakfast.
I said I don't like toast.
That doesn't help, though. This is not a restaurant. We don't have that many choices. We don't have a deep menu. We have toast. Titi will make eggs.
I said I don't like toast.
Okay, you don't have to have toast. You are...
Make it.
Alright, I love you. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Will you please find my pen?
Your pen is lost. You didn't put it back.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I wish you had. That would have made it easier.
I did put it back.
So the warrior, how are you doing? Qiyu Chess, good morning. So, this is an eye relaxer type thing. When you lose something that small, and you were using it, it's, oh, I put my hand on it. By accident, I put my hand on it. But you have to put it right back. Why don't you put it in the pen cup when you're done? Can you put it in the pen cup?
No, that's what
Pegasus Sway
Said,
No, I'm saying,
hi all, what a
The
nice
pen.
mic you got, looks professional.
No, this is the pen cup.
you can fix this one. What happened? Oh, we used something other than a pen on this one, and that's why it's broken. It's a boogie board, everybody. It's a little scratched up, but you can tap this thing out. Yeah, we're doing okay on the microphone, thank you. Well, let's move it back just a little bit, not that much. Just so that it's close enough to me. In between the two screens, we have a workout plan from Arsenal fan Richie. I should refund him, but I'm planning on doing the workout. If he shows up, I'm going to redeem it. I owe him a workout. Something's wrong with this picture. I thought I had my other pen up here. I'm going to go with this pen for now. We have informant number 158. We have to set it up. Let's check out Alireza GM. Playing Kingslayer Sloan, who's still up. Must not be streaming, as he told me he cannot stream. On lead chess. For some strange reason, he may have signed his life away, as he cannot stream on lead chess. Good morning, Ron. Nice. You reached your watch streak. Awesome. Yeah, this microphone is doing really, really well. It's always been here, well, at least this year, as it was on my desk, but I needed my desk space back. So I had to get a Thrawn Max microphone arm, and that worked out pretty well. So we are going to be playing a handful of games because I have to take care of the whippersnapper for breakfast. We are going to be playing the Dutch. I have not yet completed all
California.
of my
Said.
studies.
How to join the Arena Master Dojo.
Ah. The Rapid and Classical Dojo may be found here. And this is the AKANemsko. You know what? I'm just going to embarrass that bishop because I'm not a big fan of that bishop visiting me like that. That was very rude of him. So now, can we bother the bishop
California.
some more?
Said. Arena.
Yes, that also reaches it. I will give the individual link, but you have to join the team before you can get into the Lichess Swiss. Let's just try to batten down some of these hatches. Interesting. Is this to be concerned? I would definitely think that it should be a concern. Definitely a concern. Well, we're just going to hammer that one because we can. This is all part of the plan as far as attacking and defending and placing pressure on our opponent's squares. To the best of our ability. Wow. Never occurred to me that he would capture that. And I see. Well, it is that bishop is annoying, so I'm going to head back. We are going to attempt to take over the center. At what cost? I do not know. There is a hefty price to pay here, that's for sure. And it could be considerable. The cost could be considerable. Should we continue expanding? Or do we wish to worry about this bishop coming in? It just seems crazy to allow that pawn to come forward. But perhaps it's not going to change anything. The h5 square could be a bother. Bishop f6, knight takes g5, queen h5 check. Yeah, let's just batten down our hatches. We're not afraid of any exchanges. We're probably going to have to castle on the other side of the board. And now for something completely different. What is he threatening? We are going to try and complete our development. Yes, this pawn could be weak. Yes, we could sacrifice it. Yes, we're attacking something on b2 at least. Our opponent's king is not so safe. We're this close to finishing the opening. We had a great clip that was shared on social media concerning most of what we do. I'm going to keep the pressure up on the center. I'll admit it. And now d4, c takes, e takes, takes, takes. Or do we just capture this in this manner? Or do we continue to grab even more space? Let's continue to grab even more space. Let's invite him to go for more complications. Yep, it's true. We expected this. Oh, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. Fair enough. Takes, 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 takes. Giving up the bishop pair. Playing for more. Probably could have taken on e3. Where are you headed, sir? Where are you headed? Talk about lack of king safety. Castles, f takes e3. It's crazy with our king in the center, I admit. What in the world is going on? Something seems wrong with this picture. Seriously, seriously wrong with this picture. And now for something completely different. Check, check, takes. I do want to trade. Oh. And you did not want to trade. Silly me. Silly, silly, silly me. How foolish of me to think that you wanted to trade. Fine. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just played bishop f6 like I had planned on.
The warrior
said bb2.
And now he's threatening exactly what I didn't want him to threaten. He's got queen to f7 as well. Bishop to b2? Doesn't seem right. He's got queen check, rook check. I'm getting mated in so many ways. Let's just step out of the way. And we'll continue with our regularly scheduled programming. This is what we are planning on. Second verse, same as the first. Threatening his queen. We're threatening his knight. He has to guard both his queen and his knight. Looks like he might have to trade queens. So, do I need to trade queens and keep improving his pieces, or do we just keep bothering him with our pieces? Let's just keep bothering him with our pieces. Continuing to try to play as solidly as we can. Okay. Everyone deserves a passed pawn sometimes. What's he threatening? Let's get our rook to a better square. Why don't we? We're going to pretend as though this is the way to go. Try to find all of those weaknesses. Just a small mate threat amongst friends. Check, check, check. Yes. Just a small check amongst friends. Nothing big, no big deal. And now we can almost promote. We're going to try to promote from a different angle. How about that? And now for something completely different. It is a bummer, I admit it. Piece coordination. Piece coordination. Just gonna keep stepping up until we can put our bishop on a square that will royally bother him. Alright, fine. Fine, you got me there. I admit it. Have to secure the d8 square before I bother your rook again. And now for something irrelevant and different. Does he have anything? That did not solve the problem, unfortunately. I wasn't expecting rook to d4. I was expecting to have to play bishop to g3, king to g1. Just getting lucky, folks. Just getting lucky, unfortunately. The grandson seems to be happy for a little bit. No words. Not in the house. Dark Blade, good morning to our dream moderator and puzzle rush / puzzle master. E6 was best. Okay, fine. Was it that bad? I guess it was that bad. Just E6, huh? And bishop E7 and embarrass the bishop? That's one way to do it. So somehow we got back to our former glory equality. Now we're totally equal. Knight to c6, totally equal. And it seems as though we're a pawn up in this position, and we're going to keep expanding. Knight takes g5, e5. Bishop e6, I was looking at g5. I absolutely was looking at g5. That was definitely the shot. Next time, I will go and follow through with it. Queen to b6. Queen to d6. Yeah, putting pressure on b2 seems like the most reasonable move. b3, and now c5. Bishop f6 was a little lackluster. I feel like there should have been something more here. Just castles kingside. How? Check the cojones on me. Had I castled queenside. e4, I did play. Oh no, I didn't play it. I was thinking about playing it. Bishop g8 is very logical, probably the simplest. Instead, I went forward and threw away all of my advantage. I actually thought that I had something here. Castle's queenside. D takes e3. Knight to c4 was what I was expecting indeed. Threatening rook 2 or knight 2. He can just simply try to get across here. But after queen takes e3, queen to e5, rook to d8, definitely the best move. I don't know why I didn't think about improving my worst place piece. This was a terrible idea. And now I'm in big trouble after queen to d2. King f7 is probably the only move. Queen to d4 did appeal to me, but he has a check. Doesn't he have a check? Or he has a rook check. I think the rook check is even more bothersome. Queen to d4. Oh, queen to e1 check. Queen to e5 or queen to e4. Yeah, I've thrown away all of my advantage here. I'm lucky to be a pawn up. My king is just too exposed. I was very lucky in this game, everyone. I was very, very lucky. So we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. I believe we need e4s. I've played 2 e4s today. I believe we need one more e4, and we're going to fill our quota, and I have to check on the grandson. The hypermodern, by the way. Interesting. Takes. E5. I don't know. It looks like our regularly scheduled programming, honestly. doesn't it? Hopefully he plays this position all the time, because I want the experience in playing this position as well. I've never actually gotten this in a real game. Our opponent, though, could be playing it every game for all we know. He could be an experienced master in this position. It's also possible that he was trying to avoid theory, playing offbeat lines. So now is it worth it for me? Should I take first and then play bishop to b5, or should I just play bishop to b5? I think I should just play bishop to b5. But I'm not entirely positive of this. Maybe bishop f4? Bishop f4 and castle's queenside? Seems crazy, right? It does seem crazy to me to play this way. And now for something completely different. Bishop to b5 seems reasonable. Oh, but he has the immediate capture, right? That's unfortunate. Yeah, looks like we have no advantage here whatsoever. Aside from being up a pawn, we have no advantage whatsoever. Can I escape? Rook takes bishop e6. Or e5 first and then bishop e6. Alright, let's just go for it. YOLO. Our opponent is stronger than us. We could die an unhealthy death, but we're at least up a pawn. We're going for it. e5 can be met by bishop to e3. Our pawn structure is better. We're very active. We should be okay with any of this. I could be wrong, but I believe e5 requires some action. The other rook coming to the center. Bishop e6. Maybe bishop e6 was better right away. Maybe bishop to b5 check was better right away. What do we think anyway? Let's pretend like we are attempting to seek an advantage. I don't like those sounds. I hear sounds in the other part of the house. Could be the grandson. Not completely positive of what he is up to. So here, alrighty. Bishop to c5. Bishop to c4 check. Then bishop to c5. Bishop to e4. Can't make up my mind. There's so much going on in this position. Maybe we can also attack on that side of the board. While we're at it, why don't we think about an attack on that side of the board as well? Uh-oh. Now we have a further weakness. That's cool. So should we go for it? Bishop check. Bishop e6. Let's just trade rooks. He's got only one active piece. And we'll consider capturing it. So now, do we get through to the 7th rank this way? We did expect that. We did, most certainly, expect that. Now he might be hanging a pawn. He might be hanging more material. It looks very, very sketchy for him. Oh, you've got that. Where are you headed from here? Yes. We're just going to keep moving. We're just going to keep on moving our pawn up the board as best we can. We know we have a bit of time pressure on our hands. That much is true. So now we are threatening to threaten in more ways than one. Keeping fully in mind No, I have to capture it. I don't have a choice. I absolutely do need to capture it. Do I need to throw in the check first? Probably not. And now for something completely different. Another pawn move. And maybe even a bishop move. Check, check. Fine. This is the slow way, by the way. Mm-hmm. Did I just throw away the whole advantage? I don't know. I don't know if I threw away all of my advantage, but I guess we'll find out. It does seem okay enough. I do have to check on the rest of the house. That much is true. I'm taking a quick break to just check on the grandson. Coffee and grandson. I'll be back. There we go. He scared me. He was nowhere downstairs. He was in his room. I was almost ready to panic. Whew, that was scary. Whoa. What's going on here? Kingslayer slowed with a party of 23. How are you? Oh no, that was yesterday. It just looks like a ton of people have joined the channel and aren't really still around, but I'm going to give Kingslayer Sloan another shout out just because he deserves it. He is a hard-working fellow. I'm going to give him a real shout out. And we're off of our break. That's interesting. The break window could be a little bigger, don't you think? I think it's supposed to be the same width as our screen, but it just looks off because the FIDE trainer title is there. Do I really need the John MacArthur FIDE trainer there? I don't think so. That will balance it out. How about that? Let's just do that. Oh, it doesn't get rid of it, does it? What in the world is that item down there? Not sure why that is in the webcam frame. Well, let's fix it while we're at it. How about that? We'll pull this out. And the elite chest window. We'll make that a little bigger. Or is it almost the same size now? I can't tell. I think it should go one letter over. Just like that one. It might be the same size now. There we go. That's more appropriate. So if I select both of those options, hold on here, there, and the lead chest capture window, I should be able to move both of them up together. There we go. I wonder if I can resize them both together. Alright, let's try that. We're going to bring them down just a smidge together. That worked. And now we can bring them down again together. This works. So the credits do roll. Interesting. I did not realize that the credits do roll. I like the symmetry of that. I don't think we really need the I don't think we need the credits, but Kingslayer, Slow, and Darkblade deserve all the credit they can get. Let's make sure we rejoin our arena before we forget. We'll lock up everything again so it doesn't actually move on us. And we're off our break. What does the intermission screen look like these days? I'm looking away from the intermission screen when I look over there, so that doesn't look good. I need to be able to have the camera facing this way. Yeah, the intermission screen is on a temporary hiatus. Returning to our regularly scheduled programming. Kingslayer Sloan, how are you, man? Are you awake, or are you just lurking? Did Caliph get in? We only have 21 in the arena. and 2 are playing on the second page. Let's get some content up here while we're at it. So let's see, 2 knights versus a bishop and a knight. The white pawns are restricting the black bishop, which looks like it should be a relative success. A relative success. I mean that in the best possible way. I don't know about this. Black is making some headway. He's crippling our pawns. He's getting closer with his knight. He's getting the G3 square. We might have to actually barnacle with knight F1 just to hold these squares while we reroute. Is his knight going to be trapped, or is he just going to exchange off? He could lose a piece here. He did lose a piece here. Wow, overworked himself. Or did he? Maybe he didn't lose a piece here. But he did make life a little tougher for himself. That much is true. Did make life a little more exacting. Giving up the knight on e1. I guess he wanted his king on e1. I don't think he realized that this knight is springing back into the center with a check and a return. I would have taken on e1 in a heartbeat. I don't know if that was the correct move. But now the 2 knights are going to be working very well together. We have the danger of creating an outside passed pawn at some point in the near future, with this pawn needing to be watched. Yeah, I probably would have captured, checked, placed the knight on f4, and then played h5. Certainly this position is not necessarily worse for black, since his pieces are more active. White's fighting for more space. What could possibly be done in this position? We have made a number of clips on the YouTube channel for those of you who are watching. A number of very instructive clips. We've shared them in our social media channels. I'm going to continue with some very instructive clips on a few winning techniques. And I'm using the YouTube to do it. For example, in this particular position, there may be the threat of a fork in this position. But we can't allow a pawn breakthrough either. A5 is met by maybe. Is maybe met by B4. A5 to stop knight to B4. Aha! Finally, the simplification is occurring. So what happens on Knight to b4, knight to f4, king to e3. Knight to g2, king to d3. D takes c4 check. B takes c4. Knight back to f4 check. White has a potential passed pawn here. It's a tough call. Yeah, knight to b4 seems like the most enterprising move. But is it? A5? I mean, actually, I really like the idea of playing A5 here. But does it accomplish what I think it accomplishes? If B takes A5, then C5 check. Maybe it doesn't accomplish what I think it needs to accomplish. So he's going to play c5 right away. And now white has an outside pass pawn and the advantage. Thank you very much. This pawn is not creating an outside pass pawn. So c takes b5, c takes b5, b4. And a5. This knight is just so passive. We can't afford to play b4. I don't think we can afford to play this because of the pawn breakthrough. No, yes, maybe so. Maybe we can play that. Still a5 is what I want to play for. a5, b takes a5. Such a passive position. And now white gets b5. Oh no, you missed your chance at b5. Black still might be able to barnacle here. Black can barnacle with a6. Yeah, protected pass pawn coming up. That's not going to change anything. Is it? Uh-oh, we're a little bit zugzwanged here. But I don't think it changes anything. We just need a really good square for this knight. So where will the really good square for this knight be? So in the previous position back here, before the knight moved, I think a5 was the shot. And if b takes a5, b takes c6, and we have our protected pass pawn, and knight takes a5 check. Uh-oh, somebody's notably missing from that side of the board over there. There's no way in. Fork. Good job, Ariel Zamora. I like the airplane for Ariel Zamora's name. That is very appropriate and fitting. That's a free... No, that was a free bishop. Pawn tries to move, we play king to d6. Or king to d7 and we just promote. Wow. The blind leading the blind, folks. Ariel Zamora, what were you thinking? That was a free bishop. Your knight had everything covered. I mean, I can't say anything really because I have also been guilty of such grievances. No! Black is winning, I believe, after... Okay, so what? And now black is winning after bishop to g5, right? c6, and the pawn cannot go through. No, you don't have to stop him. You just push your pawn and take the free piece. So let's look at this again. All right. You push your pawn. He must take. We take. King tries to go. Pawn tries to go forward. We catch it. And then bishop checks skewers. And we win this endgame. I guess it's the same thing. Same thing. Second verse, same as the first. Not that much difference, folks. Not that much difference at all. So we made it a much tighter race. Helljack is going to decoy any of the higher rateds, I believe, because he's slightly higher rated than me. I just have to make sure that I don't screw up. I do have to make my grandson breakfast. I do have to make sure that I have a lesson scheduled for 10:30 or shortly after the stream. If I do not, I will be producing instructional YouTube content briefly. However briefly. Alright. I think I was answering e4 with e5. I could also play the French. I could also play the Caro-Kann. I don't know if the Sicilian is caught up. It's really annoying here. But we're going to play the French. And I need to find out what my options are against e4. And against d4. The French and the Dutch go well together as far as pawn structure similarities go. Ooh, actually the instructional YouTube content immediately after the stream might be mildly curtailed. We'll have to find out if this is true. What is my opponent up to? Am I disconnected or what? I'm going to reload my page just in case. Qiyu Zhou, ladies and gentlemen. AKANemsko information. She is a Chinese-born Canadian by way of Finland. World under 14 champion, I believe. She won the under 12 and the under 14 Canadian girls' national championships. And she, of course, I believe, won the Canadian national championship as well. And, of course, she is one of our stream's favorite streamers. Alright, and we're off. He lulled me to sleep. I disappeared for a while. We talked about stuff on stream. I'm also a big believer in 3 bishop to f7. I'm sorry, bishop to e7. To avoid many of the main lines here. We have now stepped into a huge pile of McCutcheon. And there are so many moves here that give black beans. What? That is not one of them. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not one of them. We will see, though, what he has in mind. Just threatening to play the McCutcheon is one thing. Accomplishing it is another. Yes. Can I take? Take. What is he going to do? Is he going to take? I don't know. Let's go for it. It is fascinating. The whole thing is fascinating. There are plenty of ways for me to go wrong here. So many ways for me to go wrong. Let me count the ways. We're just going to develop our pieces, try to keep this bishop at bay. We will only destroy his pawn structure if needed. The queen is a little bit off sides. We can tag the queen at any time if needed. Maybe knight to d7 was better. We'll find out. If our opponent castles, I think we have to throw in a very, very quick in-between move. And only now do we get out of dodge. Moment of truth. Do I wish to do it that way? Takes, check. Just seems so strange to do it that way. Bishop takes. I have to go this way, actually. All right. We'll take this moment of truth. How about that? Can we take this moment of truth? We have one very solid pawn island to his many. What will be the main circumspect problem here? So if I capture and he captures, or do we just expand our horizons this way? All right, fair enough. I want to keep one solid pawn island. That much is true. Now, I thought you might go for that. Oh no, I could lose a pizza. I could actually lose a pizza there. And we've lost our original intention of attempting a pawn island. Oh no! Oh no, did I really do that? So g4, c3, f takes g. I think I lost a rook in this deal. How rude. I lost a rook. How careless of me. All right, let's just check that game out. Our opponent was very deserving of the win. I've never actually seen this one before. Master Chess Dojo is black. So against e4, I have not yet caught up in Sicilians, but I do have a nice even number.
Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred.
Mies.
Thanks for following.
Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred.
Thiek Knight.
Said. Hello.
Oh no! I've been muted the whole time. Terrible. Thank you, Arcanodrance, for the follow. The Knight 123, good to see you. We have rounded out all of our French defenses to 350. Knight to d2, knight on g to e7, b4, bishop b6, a4, queen to d3, and a5 was a little bit suspect. I believe knight takes e5 should have lost me the game. Absolutely. I'm in a lot of trouble here. I probably should have tried to batten down on the hatches with queen to d3, despite his rook e3 option. And now queen a4 check. I had no choice. And then he has to play b6, queen to d7, and he wins a piece. I can't play this move. I cannot play this move because he attacks my bishop on e5. And I'm just down a pizza here. I'm just down a pizza. So I have to play queen to d7, and after the trade of queens, I'm having a very difficult time being down a pizza again. So yeah, he didn't see the move b6, check. He tried for more, and I get to escape with bishop takes h2 check. And this is the position that I want to share in my positions database. Black to move. Where are you? There you go. That is a great defensive idea. And now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. How good was it anyway? Let's just take a look. Takes, and queen f4. And he had to play... Oh, I did not see this. I pre-moved queen takes, but he did have the move bishop to b4. Queen h6, and I'm still threatening all of the above. Still threatening all of the above. b6 check, king to d8. Wow, what a fine line. I was actually considering that I had to play that, but I have to play king to d8. Knight f3 to stop mate. Bishop d6 to simplify. And then I pin. Let's save that one for finding the pin as well. That's a very cool one. Only 7 rounds so far. And I cannot any longer adjust the tournament to let anyone in, as it turns out. It is too bad. Let's see, Ron Hay. My nemesis, Ron Hay. Surging from behind, he got in just in time, because you can't actually join this tournament. By the way, AKANemsko is one of the streamers that inspired me to stream. if you've not yet checked her out. To favorite an emote, hashtag click it. Control click it. That's interesting. So let's see here, and I favorite that one. I use that one a lot. Let's check out Ron's game. 2 minor pieces for a rook. He is clearly better. It would be nice to be able to play knight f3. Just doesn't work though, unfortunately. So he is getting a little bit of trouble in. Can we win with knight takes c4, ladies and gentlemen? That is the question. Knight takes c4, followed by b3 and b2. That looks like the cool player's alternative. Knight takes c4. I thought he might play this move. This is the solid move. Just playing bishop to e5. Perhaps bishop to f4. Oops. Now we get some seriously great piece activity. No! We don't want to give away our pawn, dude. Now we've actually got a lot of work to do. King takes. There's nothing going on here. Right? Didn't we throw away our pawn? And now we're up the exchange because there's no stopping. Funny, right? Knight h3 check there was a little more effective, I think. Yeah, knight h3 would have left us up 2 pieces in this position. Ron pre-moved. Bishop d4 check. Not entirely sure what we're hoping to accomplish here. Pawn check, knight check. Everywhere a check, check. Still flirting with a little bit of disaster here, Ron. But not quite, because we can queen with check. I'm not sure we needed king to d2. Is he trying to mate with a pawn? Or with a bishop? I thought he was trying to orchestrate a mate with a bishop or a pawn. That I would have given a lot of kudos to. And he made the tournament exciting. Actually, Grand 58 made the tournament exciting by beating Haljak. So against e4, what is the easiest one that I can accomplish close and nearby. D6 or knight f6? Knight f6. Whoops. Okay, so we ended up with an e5 game anyway. What is going on, folks? What's going on? Takes. Alright, so the E3 square, the D3 square is now weak. It is official. I can't quite do that move. I don't want to hang a piece. It is a bomber. Alright, let's just keep grabbing space on the queen side, just in case his idea was to play now what's going on? Takes. I still have no clue as to what I wanted to do. That much is true. H5, G6, H4, takes. There could be a tactic in here. I have to be very careful. Oh, he does have that. That's a bummer. So he has more than one of those. God, he's going to checkmate me. Is that crazy or what, that he's going to checkmate me? He's got knight takes this, that, and the other thing. Can we double? Can we pretend like it's not happening? Khalif, you're playing well, sir. You are indeed playing well. I salute you. Can we sack the exchange? That would make me feel a lot better. Sacking the exchange. Whoa. He's trying to checkmate me. This guy is trying to checkmate me. Takes. It's really rude of him. Hanging on for dear life, folks. Hanging on for dear life. I am not quite made it on the back rank, but he does have this check. Knight takes check. That check. Queen takes g6 is met by queen takes g6, so I don't lose a pizza. Bishop's hanging the whole time. Knight h6 check. This is still guarding without that pin. And now for something completely different. We just have to keep our calm. Interesting. All right, fair enough. Wow. All right, we don't have a choice. And how do we extract ourselves from this predicament? I do not know. But our opposite colored bishops are alive. That much is true. Takes, takes, and takes. I do need to stop that pawn, though. That much is true. How do I stop that pawn? Okay. Takes. I am so screwed over here, ladies and gentlemen. So screwed. Okay, now we can actually stop the pawn. Whew, that was crazy. That was very, very crazy that we couldn't stop the pawn. I thought I was going to lose. But we may draw with Caliph 100. That much is true. We may draw with him. I am actually quite happy to draw with him, interestingly enough. I have to remember that we're low on time. Can we give him a checkup first? No, you were supposed to sack your bishop for the pawn and let me demonstrate a bishop versus knight draw. I was very lucky, Caliph 100. I was very, very lucky in that game. You had rook takes e2 instead of king takes rook. And I don't necessarily know that I'm winning that at all, by the way. Let's just go to the key moment where you're not crushing me. And you were crushing me. If you'd promoted your pawn, I was dead. So here, you have rook takes. I can't save my knight. And that one at the same time, right? Oh, you have rook g3 check.
California.
Then e1 equals rook.
Said, I mouse slip.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. But it looks like it's really good for me no matter
Said,
what.
Knight.
Apparently it
Knight.
doesn't. I should get a knight with check? That's too fancy. But no, you had to sack your bishop for my b pawn, and I was going to demonstrate bishop and knight versus king. Yeah, you can just go back and forth along this diagonal. Take this pawn whenever it goes to this square. Obviously I could arrange that I can block it with my king. Put my king on this square and then block it with the knight. But maybe you can just stay there. Oh no, I'm going to check you and then block it with the knight. So therefore I'm okay. But in general, I would demonstrate the bishop versus the knight ending. Are we going to get another game? No. At least I managed to redeem myself for the fair maiden, AKANemsko. She does sort of remind me of a fair maiden. Actually, she's not so fair, because a fair maiden would be a blonde-haired maiden. But we could also go with fair as it being lovely. We can go with that one. So Helljack
Said, congratulations, John.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Absolutely thank you, sir. We still have a workout that Arsenal fan Richie redeemed yesterday, and I do not know if I'm going to have a chance to do it while he's here, or if I should just refund him. I've refunded Ron for his previous workout. He had redeemed a match, best of X, to prepare for some tournament in the evening. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do that. I think I had to rush out for my car appointment, which I spent 8 hours in the car place. Oh, how can you go and drop off the car and wait for the car to be finished? You might as well just go somewhere and go back later and pick it up. I mean, if you had 2 cars available, that would be the thing to do, right? But again, AKANemsko, Nemo, Qiyu Zhou. She won the women's division of the Finnish Championship at age 10. Holy cow. This is the women's championship? The women's winners? She's a national champion of Finland? That's pretty crazy. She has a national championship title at the age of 10. Now that is something, right? Strong. She is a national champion. Now, is she also a national champion? I actually don't know if I have all of those birthdays. December 19th, I bet I do not have all of the Finnish champions' birthdays. And so, Canadian National Championship. Has she won the Canadian National Championship? That is the question. If she is a multiple national champion, winning the Canadian Women's Championship by a point, enabling her to compete at the Women's World Champion. They have Magnus Smith. They have a Magnus as national champion of Canada in 2016. That is crazy. Isn't that pretty awesome, though? I have to admit. That is totally awesome. And the Finnish Championship. I'm going to make sure that I have all of these birthdays today before I update my calendar. Yes, we've saved those too. She began playing chess at the age of 3. That's amazing. So what else is there? She did start in 2020. I remember we were actually talking on Instagram. We were DMing on the possible machine collaborations for her desktop at home. My main argument was to get an Intel 7 processor, and she went with the Ryzen 7 because it was cheaper. And she's not using it for chess space, obviously, but the Ryzen burns much hotter, and I think the Intel chip is better for chess space. Still can't get over the fact that she won. That is so cool. Her family relocated to Ottawa. She moved to Finland at the age of 4. And her father worked at the University of Oulu. She joined the Shaki 77 Chess Club and was coached by Juni Tulun. I'm actually going to search for him. I'll leave that up in the background. I don't see him on chess.com or Lichess, Juni Tulin. It's possible that he doesn't play online chess. So let's close that one up. .200 points in 2014. So when she won the Finnish National Women's Championship, she was probably rated about 1700. Which doesn't really mean anything. It's only an average of your performance. It means that some games you could be playing like a 2100. Gaining 300 points in a year is the norm for a prodigy, honestly. 500 for an exceptional player, like Magnus Carlsen. Nobody accuses Magnus Carlsen of cheating because he was number 1 in the world at 2010. In 2010 at the age of 18, give or take. Wow, playing style. She definitely deserves, and everyone should note, the variety of the lines in the Spanish opening are going to reward you much greater. Yeah, March 2020. So if I look back in our DMs, assuming that Instagram keeps all of the DMs all the way back, I'd be able to save all of those DMs. The popularity of the Queen's Gambit. 100,000 followers within a year of her first streaming with the Botez sisters. Very cool. Her interest in aquariums. So she's only nominated for the Streamer Award last year. She should be able to win it one of these years. But it's a popularity contest, unfortunately. So therefore, the Botez sisters, Hikaru, Gotham, they are all going to win it. I don't think you should be able to win it twice, interestingly enough. I think once you've won it, you're going into the Streamer Hall of Fame, and that's it. I'm not really a big fan of these types of titles. I surprised the Super Grandmaster, or I've never seen that video. That's interesting. That's very cool. My problem with AKANemsko. They are like twins with different colored hair, if you ask me. In any event, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Should we try to do a simul? It smells like breakfast is waiting for me downstairs, and my grandson is very demanding. And I do need to put together his bed, but I would like to grow this dojo. Can't remember where we were this morning, but we could attempt to grow the dojo before we leave. Or we could come back with an instructional stream, and that would be more like it, because somewhere around 2 hours and 30 minutes, I have often experienced some technical difficulties. I have, honestly, experienced some technical difficulties. So with the 3 of you here, those of you who have not yet subscribed on YouTube, it's almost a must that you support the channel by subscribing on YouTube. You don't have to hit the bell for the notifications. That is asking a lot. I appreciate everything that you do. It looks like we're good through the end of the month almost with tournaments here. We're going to add the Finnish national champions. And the tournaments here are going to be running out soon, so I have to actually refurbish these after Monday. So that's on my agenda for today. Grandson's bed. He's got a Spider-Man bed that he chose from Amazon. A brand new bed was what we were offering him for Christmas. Thank you everyone for being here. Later in the day, I have a podcast with Rogan Joe Sloan. If you've not yet followed the podcast, please follow the podcast at any one or all of these links. That would be greatly appreciated. Please follow the podcast. It would help immensely. Thank you. Arcane Adrenal
said. Bye,
Mies
folks.
9874. Thank you so much. Chose No Warrior Legend. Ciao, everyone.